CTN's own Access Ann Arbor celebrates its 25th anniversary. Access Ann Arbor provides Ann Arbor residents and local nonprofits an opportunity to voice an opinion, promote an event, or an organization.
This is Access Ann Arbor.
Through these past 25 years, Access Ann Arbor has brought us an immense wealth of diverse programming. Access Ann Arbor has celebrated art, theater, and dance.
Arbor Opera Theater has been in existence since 1999. It was formed by 3 graduates of Eastern Michigan University.
The kind of Indian dancing we would be doing is the classical Indian dance style, Bharatanatyam, and we would also be doing Kuchipudi.
They formed this opera company whose mission is to actually launch the careers of emerging singers.
These dance styles have a tradition of several centuries, I should say. Almost 2,000 years ago, they were as a form of religious worship.
What has been the hardest part about playing Maggie for you so far?
She has such a level of intensity about her that you have to commit mind, body, and soul to everything that she's driving at, and that's hard when you're used to sitting in an office, you know, all day, and you haven't done this in a while, and just to put forth all that energy, it feels like running a marathon.
There's a lot of humor in the play. The characters in Hades in particular are very comic. Charon, the ferryman who carries people to Hades. The 3-headed dog, Cerberus, is portrayed by 3 people doing a doo-wop number.
And so we're going on to Wisconsin.
We are.
And we're probably going to be competing against 10 teams there. Fingers crossed, we will win this. And then we will.
Happen.
I want to win so bad.
That's right. About 12 years ago, I joined the group when I was in high school, and I've been doing this ever since. When I was a student at University of Michigan, and then on through now, I teach in Saline. We've played a lot of tunes for audiences far and wide across the country and around the world.
We're going to show you the single rapier fight, very grand and dramatic fight. A single rapier fight, the weapons that we use are a great deal different than fencing weapons, much heavier. So let's watch the action.
That hurt! I know.
It's confusing, that is clear. What's your story, Orpheus dear?
The bears, the bees, the trees are singing sweet.
Are you reeling? Are you glad?
Kristen, would you tell us about one of our tunes we've been playing for a long time?
Sure, Ben. This next one we're going to play is one we played with the man that wrote it in November when we share the stage with him. His name is Mark O'Connor, and he's considered to be one of the nation's best fiddle players. This is called Bulla Bulla. Take it away, Brad.
Woo!
Access Ann Arbor has captured memorable town events.
When our Goya dancers dance, or even our Greek school dancers dance, then afterwards they invite people up to learn how to dance, because Greek dancing is done mostly in a circle.
This year, being my first show, I decided to go with a theme called Cirque de la Glace, which stands for Circus of the Ice.
Washtenaw Literacy serves about 250 adult learners a year with 300 volunteers.
Well, Stacy, we have quite an array. Every year it seems like we have more and more things to offer for our community, and it's all about reading, writing, and literacy.
It's like a street festival, isn't it?
It is a street festival.
Today we are here with the Ann Arbor Public Library and the Ypsi Public Library's book, The New Jim Crow, Michelle Alexander. We are partnering on their 2013 Ann Arbor Ypsi Reads.
Nicole represents a very dark force, something that any person can relate to as fear.
I represent the Ann Arbor District Library, and we're here to tell you about a series of events.
There are a tremendous number of films, and Brenda, you go to Berlin and Toronto and a whole bunch of film festivals. Amanda and I go to Sundance, and I've been to the Cleveland Film Festival where you're involved, and you just become aware that there are literally hundreds and hundreds of excellent films that are played in these film festivals all over the world.
And there are certain steps to the dances, and they like to teach the people how to do it. And everyone has a blast when they do it. The Goyans will come into the crowd and just start pulling people up, and everyone really enjoys it, so it's a lot of fun.
This discussion today is about mass incarceration in the era of color blindness.
If you go to the University of Michigan Exhibit Museum of Natural History, you can see live owls.
When I moved to Washtenaw County 2 years ago, it was pretty natural for me to become involved in the literacy program here.
I think two of my favorite exhibits are the bubble capsule, which is a giant soap bubble that you step inside and you can pull on two pulleys, on a pulley, and in fact enclose yourself in this giant soap bubble.
So what we wanted to do for Washtenaw County, for actually all of southeastern and southern Michigan, is to bring the cream of the crop of these international festivals.
Now, as we move on to the food products that we have in our agora, for the first time we have Greek pistachios from the island of Achaia.
We have a diagram of rodent bones right here.
Okay.
And I'll leave the skull out. You can see the front teeth of this rodent.
Oh, wow. So if the kids come on this particular day, they'll actually be able to do some investigation?
They can do some investigation. Once they get the bones cleaned off, they can glue them onto this chart.
People are actually coming in from all over the country.
Yes, we're very pleased this year. We have several noted authors that will be appearing doing different things.
Access Ann Arbor has investigated areas of healthy lives and happy homes.
Ozone House is a youth service agency. It consists of 3 houses, not just one, in Ypsi and Ann Arbor.
Part of our mission at Arbor Hospice is to educate the community on end-of-life issues and advance care planning.
Many of you viewers out there may know about us already. Our mission is to prevent, to prepare for, and respond to emergencies, and so you may know, maybe you're a blood donor. We have blood donations, donor, come to us almost every day to donate blood. And remember, 1 pint can save almost 3 lives.
Certified nurse midwives are nurses that have gone back to school for advanced training in taking care of women during the childbearing years.
In the state of Michigan, there are 20,000 children who cannot live at home because it is not safe for them to do so.
So in essence, the Silver Club is a program for individuals living with memory loss caused by illnesses like Alzheimer's disease. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Do you know what healthcare treatments you would want if you were unable to speak for yourself? And do your loved ones or other members of your family know what your wishes are?
They not only try to end homelessness, they try to prevent homelessness. And the agency provides resources facing housing challenges and housing options, and their school-age programs.
We go into the classrooms, we have a 30-minute presentation about fire safety. It's an interactive, fun time. We've got the kids on the floor crawling under their desks, getting out. practicing that. And then at the very end of the program, we provide the kids with some fire safety material and an escape plan for them to go home and talk to their families about.
There's a picture of Pamela at her college graduation, and she has a huge smile on her face.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's just incredible to recognize what kind of difference that we can have in the lives of these young people.
Mm-hmm.
It's really amazing.
Her comment that when you're in the foster care system, no one listens. I have heard that so many times, particularly from teenagers who have been in multiple foster homes. And I think it's one of the most valuable parts of the CASA program is that we can help give these children a voice.
You know, a quote from John F. Kennedy was, you know, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And so we have to teach our children that basic fact, community service. Let's all work together. Let's help each other.
I think part of what makes Silver Club a special program is that we work very hard to make sure that the people with memory loss who come to the program not only have a good time, there's lots of laughter throughout the day, we really try and have fun, but also feel good about themselves. Ed, I would like to ask you, talk to the audience about what an advance directive is and what is included in an advance directive.
Well, the name actually describes what you need to know. It is an advance directive, which means you make it in advance of incapacity or illness. So it's a document you write when you're healthy that says what you want when you are ill and can't make decisions for yourself.
The difference between a nurse midwife and an obstetrician is that we're experts in normal, whereas obstetricians are physicians and they're experts in the abnormal or disease and pathology.
Many times when I go out to speak to different people, different groups, they are shocked to hear that family homelessness is actually a problem.
In our community.
Mm-hmm, in our community.
Mm-hmm.
Access Ann Arbor has furthered our education.
Here are some ways you can help slow down global warming. First, choose energy-efficient light bulbs and appliances.
PATH is a 6-week workshop that was developed by Stanford University.
Mm-hmm.
It's designed for people who have long-term health problems to help them learn self-management skills.
But Ralph Nader's candidacy, I think, really has galvanized many of us. And we're really persuaded that this is an opportunity to join a values-based party that really stands for something.
What the impact of the ballot proposal and the statutory plan are going to have on the city's budget and what our property tax revenues are going to look like.
Today, Science Olympiads are found all over the 50 states, and they are for kids in high school, middle school, and elementary schools. On the elementary school level, we started in Ann Arbor about 9 years ago.
Circle K is actually the largest collegiate service organization in the world. We have over 200 members at University of Michigan Circle K, but we started off quite small. Back in 1967, when we first began, we had just under 20 members, and we've grown steadily throughout the years.
And the Leslie Science and Nature Center is a nonprofit organization that provides environmental education and experiences for children, families, and community members that foster an understanding, appreciation, stewardship, and respect for the natural world.
826 Michigan is a nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting students aged 6 to 18 with their creative and expository writing skills, and to helping teachers inspire their students to write.
So as the Raptor Program Director, my main responsibility is taking care of a team of 14 raptors. And a raptor is a bird of prey.
The kidneys, there are two kidneys, which is important for everyone to understand. So when you have kidney disease, both kidneys are involved. And the kidneys are about the size of my fists. And they are right in the back here under the rib cage, far back in the abdominal cavity.
We pride ourselves on 3 tenets of friendship, leadership, and fellowship. And we have a large committee system of over 60 people that help orchestrate Circle K on University of Michigan.
Very often teachers would say, I remember when my kids were doing geology, she would be like, can we borrow those posters? Can we use those rock samples? And you know, so there is kind of a the synergy that gets happening between the teachers and the coaches, for one thing.
They grab their food with their feet, and that's how they're able to survive. And so this great horned owl has about 300 pounds per square inch squeezing power in his feet. And compare that to an average adult man who only has about 50 or 60 pounds per square inch squeezing power. So these birds are very amazing.
As a young girl growing up in Ann Arbor, I had many mentors who helped me develop into the person I am today. My parents are at the top of that list. And my teachers in the Ann Arbor Public Schools all played an important role in my life. And one of them is here today. She is Carol Tice, who for nearly 4 decades served as an art teacher in the Ann Arbor Public Schools.
We've made cookies in the past to send to Mott's Hospital. So
you might be baking cookies in the middle of the night?
Yes.
And then you mentioned blanket making. Is that similar to, what have you got there, Les?
We brought a blanket. These are the blankets that we make, and we send them to the children's hospitals, and they're really easy. You just take fleece and tie them together. So this is an easy project to do it late at night. And we actually, last year we had, part of the Kiwanis family is K-Kids and Builders Club. They're in elementary and middle school, and so we invite them to come with us, and they came during the day, and they actually helped us make a lot of these blankets that we could send to children.
I'll bet they loved that.
Public education is very important to me, and it's at the heart of what we do. And as an adult, I think some of the greatest pleasures that I've had have been around reading and books and literature. It's an area of my life that is very important to me and always has been, and it's something that I want to share.
This one, the reason I brought her is because she is a tarantula, and everyone is scared of spiders. Not everyone. But there's a lot of people who are scared of spiders. And one really cool thing that we get to do is show people that these are not scary animals. You know, they're completely harmless, and the more they get exposed to these critters, the more that they're going to learn that.
Mrs. Tice has also been the president of Lifespan Resources, Inc. since 1979. Its motto, bringing generations together for healthier lives and communities. And what an honor it is to have you here today. I still remember you when I was a little girl in your classroom at Pittsfield Elementary School.
Yes, and I remember you too. You were in the back row. You were the one that was talking all the time, and the laughter was like music, and I didn't have the heart to stop you. I said, that girl's going to be on TV someday.
Okay, so what does the kidneys do, and why are they important?
Well, as you already pointed out, the kidneys are pretty amazing organs, and they really are. I think most people know that the kidneys actually are involved in getting rid of waste products, so they are important in clearing out toxins that are made from metabolism, breakdown of proteins and fats and other nutrients that the body does on a daily basis. You have to get rid of those waste products, and that's what the kidneys do to a large extent.
From this picture of Earth's atmosphere at sunrise, we can see how thin it is, only 30 miles. Carl Sagan said, if you cover an orange with a coat of varnish, the thickness of that varnish on the orange would be in proportion to the thickness of the atmosphere of the Earth.
Access Ann Arbor has embraced cultural diversity and social change.
In honor of Veterans Day, the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor is putting on a program honoring the service of its members. And it's our pleasure to have here today 3 Rotary members and veterans to share a little bit about their service. Welcome, Bill, Art, and Al.
The news media gives a very often confused picture of what's happening in what we call the Middle East.
Culture for any group is, a set of rituals and traditions that define that group as separate. And I think that people with disabilities for most of history have only had one set of concepts to describe their experience, and that's been a set of concepts given to them by non-disabled people.
The Down Syndrome Support Team is a local organization, and we serve people with Down syndrome and their families in this community. Today we hope to provide you information and inspiration about how individuals with Down syndrome impact their community and live enriching lives.
My husband and I were fortunate enough to be able to adopt 2 beautiful children from China. My daughter is now 9 and my son is 5. And we are part of this group, Families with Children from China. There are about 50 families here in the Ann Arbor area who are active members in one way or another in our organization. And we have just always been so pleased to be so welcomed by the members of CASA.
I have 3 guests tonight. I'm very proud to introduce them. Starting over here, we have Sergeant Steve Cummings, United States Army, and we have Sergeant Ellis Agee, United States Marine Corps. And here to my right, I have PFC Sam Mishler from the United States Army. So Sergeant Cummings and Sergeant Agee and Private Mishler will be sharing with us their experiences in the war.
Our topic for today is 3 generations of Palestinian women. The idea behind this program is to show the work and devotion of these 3 generations of Palestinian women to educate, to preserve, to promote Palestinian culture and heritage, and let the world know about the richness and beauty of this culture. I am happy and excited to have my daughter Maha with us and my granddaughter Iman.
The Ann Arbor Ypsilanti Black Chamber is the very first African American Black Chamber that's ever existed in the area. We are also a division of the U.S. Black Chamber, which means that we are underneath the White House administration.
Just the first question is, could you share a little bit about when you served and what you did while you were in the service? Bill?
Thank you, John. My span was from the fall of '42 to January of '46. Served in the training command in what's called the Southeast Training Command. I was lucky and got my wings as a pilot in Illinois. Shipped out from Wyoming to Casablanca and spent a period of time in Italy in the 15th Air Force, flying 50 missions.
When I was there, we didn't have any armor whatsoever. Our Humvees they had cloth sides. And, so we did what we could to do makeshift armor. We'd take a piece of steel and throw it on the floor, maybe throw some sandbags on it.
Our common experience, the common experience of most people with disabilities is oppression. The vast majority of us are unemployed, but that doesn't mean that we're just a lesser version of non-disabled. I mean, we've got a common way of relating to one another and relating to the environment around us.
Seeds of Peace, actually contrary to what some people might think, or even the name, we're not actually a left-wing peace organization.
For most of us, it's super important for us to be able to expose our children to the Chinese culture and to continue to celebrate the various festivals and teach the traditions of their homeland.
And I think I focus on the dress because I think the dress is like identity for every village and town in Palestine. And after that, I opened the Palestinian Heritage Center there. It's in this center, there is many purpose of the centers. It's a museum and a section for the postcard and posters there. The postcard and poster, they show the historical and archaeological and religious places behind the dress. The dress is like identity.
The first inspiring story comes from Megan, who has proven she is more alike than different. Megan is 18 years old and attends one of the largest high schools in the area. At school, her smile and warm handshake make it a better place for all who attend. She and her classmates attended one of the dances, and reports indicate everyone danced with abandon. Megan is also active in her church. Recently, she made profession of faith and is now a full member of the church.
When you start hearing the sirens go off and you feel the ground rumble, you know that it's incoming, because you hear bombs all the time, but usually it's going out. All right, when you hear a bomb and you feel the ground and you hear a siren, they tell you, take cover.
Fashion, both together. That's why you chose this
I chose this picture because it showed the old traditions and also the new, and how traditions and costumes have changed through time.
For this year, I'm very happy. I'm the new president, but it's not because I'm the president I'm happy. So I just happy the more and more the American know the Chinese, know the Chinese culture, Chinese history, and also more and more Chinese know the American history and the culture.
Access Ann Arbor has been nationally and regionally recognized. In 2010, Access Ann Arbor's Parkinson's Disease and Me won first place in the Government Programming Awards from the National Association of Telecommunications, Officers and Advisors for the Public Access Talk Show category.
Welcome to Parkinson's Disease and Me. We know that there are more than 1 million Americans who live with Parkinson's disease, with 60,000 new cases diagnosed each year. The average age of onset is 60 years of age, though people have been diagnosed as young as 18 years of age. Parkinson's disease is a chronic, progressive neurological disorder that results from degeneration and premature death of dopamine-producing brain cells.
In 2013, Access Ann Arbor was also awarded first place at the Philo Festival of Media Arts Competition for Center of Light.
Welcome. My name is Andrea Dillon, and I will be your host today with the Community Television Network. I am pleased to introduce Reverend Selena Lucas with the Center of Light in Ann Arbor. Hello, Reverend Selena.
Hi. Thanks for hosting this.
You're welcome. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about yourself and also what is offered at the Center of Light.
Sure. I am one of 2 priests at the Center of Light here in Ann Arbor. We have centers in multiple cities across the United States, and we offer a whole host of classes. We think of ourselves more as a spiritual school instead of a church.
Both awards are immense achievements for all the hard work and passion put into each program from the people both on and off screen. But most importantly, Access Ann Arbor has created a sense of community that has united Washtenaw County. As the show has evolved throughout this past quarter of a century, it is our residents and viewers we thank for making the show stronger than ever. We have grown, we have learned, and today we are giving back to Access Ann Arbor to say happy anniversary. Thank you for becoming an invaluable program that has enriched our lives for the past 25 years.
And thank you for listening.
And thanks to all of you for taking time to watch this.
Thank you for listening.
And thank you, audience, for watching.
Thank you for watching.
So thank you very much for joining me tonight.
Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you for supporting us in the past.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Take care of yourselves. Stay healthy.
Thank you, Ann Arbor.
For those of you who tuned into our show instead of watching Friends, we appreciate that very much. I'd like to let you know that.